Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a talking crafting video. I'll talk about crafting, but I'll talk in general. I am filming on my laptop, and I don't know if this has been happening in other parts of the world, but Google has been um, there has been things that they had to fix, and so there are certain things that have been acting up a little bit. So I was okay on my school Canvas, or like the portal for the online portion, for students and faculty, but some people weren't able to sign in for a period of time and they just got it up. But I don't go on many sites. I did notice that the YouTube app wasn't working for me, and it still isn't working for me. So that's where I like to navigate YouTube on my phone. And I go on the, is it Safari? Well, I have an iPhone. I go on the internet and then go on YouTube through there, but I can't upload videos on there. I'm not on desktop. I like going on desktop, but I don't know how to get it on there. So then I down up or install the YouTube Studio for the people that make videos, and from there you could upload your video. Um, I don't really go on Studio that much. So after I uploaded my sourdough video, I deleted the app, and I tend to do that because I don't really have space on my phone. So um, now it's okay here because the one about me making the sourdough discard crackers and the bread, it took me a while to try to get it to upload. So I did try different things with the sourdough, and I am officially I don't know, you like a sourdough baker. I don't know if you would go that far, but um, a person that really enjoys and appreciates sourdough, because it is true, it's really hard for you to not um, have your dough usable. Because I tried two different recipes for the bread, and I tried different ways of doing the starter to see what would work for me and the environment that I'm in, and like the type of reaction, because there isn't like a set time. It has to do with a lot about the environment, temperature, and those variables. So um, I like how it's hard to mess up on your starter, and you could just keep going and come back from whatever you're doing with it. So I tried two different recipes because I tried one with they were it was a recipe using a scale, and it's definitely recommended to use a scale. I just don't have one yet. So at some point I'll get one. I don't know when, but um so I was thinking, can I do general conversions the way where I was being lazy and I didn't want to I'll clean what I also got from the thrift store yesterday since it's past midnight. Um, so because even if you are tearing or zeroing out your scale, there's like the individual ingredients and they're not going to be the same. Um, and also with those types of measurements, they're not considered um, consistent anyway, but uh, or at least as consistent as you can get it compared to using something like a scale. So put this down here. I want that on the bed. Does this fit in here? Oh, it does. Wow. So to the back to the sourdough. So there's the couple of days where I was getting it started and um get the sourdough to be active. And the first days I just discarded the well, threw out the discards for what I was feeding the sourdough. And so you're like it's alive and it's growing and you're feeding it. Um, so in its younger days, the first couple of days I was doing that. And then once it was around the time where it became active, I started to keep the discard and I have some of it. I'm trying not to have too much of the discard. So I first tried the weighted one and I felt like I could have gotten back from that hydration because it had a lot of water and I felt like it could have been worked with, but um, at the time it was like I'll see the other recipe that actually gave measurements and no fault of the recipe. It's usually recommended to get a scale. So um, I tried the other recipe and I was super happy with it. I feel like with the how the bread came out, I was so excited and I tried it and it was really fluffy and soft and you could definitely see like the is it stretched gluten? It's on the inside and I did do a couple of things because I didn't have a Dutch oven or cast iron and I needed to get the moisture in the oven, so I did that. I think for the next time, after a while, I'll cover the bread unless I find another alternative with the supplies that I have and what I'll do to make sure it doesn't get as baked at the top. And it didn't affect the inside because the outside is supposed to be strong enough anyway. So, um, Because I'm not necessarily a crust person, but sourdough is different. And when I tried the outer layer, it was one of my favorite parts of it. Really pleased. And for the bread as a whole, I felt that the main thing that I'll probably do next time when I'm shaping it, because before that, you're pulling on the, well, you're stretching the stretch and folds where you're trying to get the elasticity without breaking the dough. And even that, even um, you're even doing it with the shaping of it toward at the bottom, and I didn't do it as much because I felt like was it the just forming and it looked formed to me, but I felt like it could have been stretched more with the bottom of it. I don't feel like I tasted a difference, um, but with the inside, the patterning was slightly different. So other than that, I was super happy because this recipe I also went by the directions with the ingredients. Um, so it gave an alternative to putting it in the fridge for 8 hours. Did I say that for the last time? Because I didn't read through the whole direction, all the directions. So there's a lot of resting periods. I wrote it in my notebook. And there's like the 4 hour period of the bulk fermentation. This this one said around every half hour to well, every half hour this video, and then the other video said every hour. So I did like that it said half hour, but sometimes I waited like an hour and I felt like that was kind of better for the dough. But if you didn't do that, I feel like you could have still gotten tasty dough or bread. And because after those stretch and folds, and then there's like the benching time where waiting another half hour, and then eventually you could set it in the fridge 8 hours overnight, or if you want it done the same day, you can have it sit at room temperature for around 8 hours. And again, with the time, can depend on where you are. So going back to the first batch, I didn't throw it out. I kept it in the fridge because I was like thinking about what to do with it. Because in the bowl, it wasn't sticking to the bowl, but it was so um like a it was sticky. If you wet your hands, it wasn't as sticky, but at the same time, like I just felt like I worked with the other recipe, and since I don't have a scale, maybe I'll do it for now, but I'm still going to do what I did with the first one because I made a pizza out of it and it was definitely a treat. And I took more supplements today. Um, I do get when it's starting points, like I do get kind of itchy. I do get itchy around certain areas, especially my face. So, like around my hairline and my nose and here, like I feel like those are the itchiest points, and then it goes from there. So, um, it was definitely a treat because there's plenty of cheese in the fridge because my parents go to Costco. And if you know about Costco, you know you're not just getting one of an item. Usually you're getting like a whole family size worth of whatever you're getting. I mean, sometimes you can get one of an item, like drinks, you can get one of an item, but like a lot of the stuff there It's usually in bulk. So, um, the I wanted to use it because I was thinking, well, it could be like a focaccia pizza or something because focaccia also has um, like high hydration. There's a good amount of water, and you can have a good amount of water in your sourdough too, but you get different results. And then there's a bunch of videos like saying like what happens if you put this percentage of water or that percentage of water. So I'm definitely on the bandwagon or train or whatever for sourdough because the sourdough pizza crust was so delicious and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was just like, I'm fucking tired of this. I'm just gonna put it on the, like, on the pan. Well, I put the parchment paper and I oiled it, like a similar thing when you have focaccia. Didn't fuss with it too much because it tends to be one of those doughs that it tends to be uh, like that. And then I put the toppings on. I was thinking, should I put the toppings on later? And I decided to put the toppings on in the beginning. And the crust turned out so delicious in it. It cooked wonderfully. I'm really happy. So that was the beginning of the video. So I don't know if this is going to be like a sourdough video, but no, or like a sourdough, whatever. So oh, this is, I got out of class yesterday because, again, I'm blooming late. I went back to the house and then I went back out because I tend to do that like either the day or after, the same day or after class. Since I've been sleeping more, I've been able to do it the same day since I'm already dressed. And it's funny because now that I sleep a little more, this is another reason why I have multiple alarms, is because I'll just snooze them. Like I keep like having all of them on, and then I'm like it resets itself or it sleeps, and so it goes off like every 5 minutes, and I could see why if someone would get upset if I have it. I just don't wake up that much in the morning like that. But I got to class. Next week's potluck. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do sourdough cinnamon rolls. I have a high confidence about it just because, well, I think I'll make two batches, and depending on the consistency and like how it is, I'll go into a second batch just because I'll bring a little bit more than the amount for the class just in case. And honestly, I feel like I could bring food home. I would like to. And so they could bring food home too, of what I bring. The thing is with that, like, I feel like I'm going to take my exam early, like a day or two early, because I also have a drug test next. Not like I'm taking a drug test, but like, well, I am taking a drug test, but um, I'm getting quizzed on, it's like an exam, but not weighted as heavily. So that's also next week on more words. Like it's a larger one than what we have every week. So I don't want to do that both on the same day. So um, I went out to see if I wanted to get pepperoni pizza, but I went to the thrift store. What was I going to the thrift store for? I was looking for a Dutch oven. I was thinking maybe I could find one. I didn't find one. I found something else. And by the way, talking about my garment, well, I did wear this shirt. It's pretty common that I wear a lot of the same clothing. I do have clothing. Like, it's not like I don't have it, but when I like something, I can wear it multiple times. Just, I feel like it's a little like a paradox or complexity to the personality because I like to wear different things or I like to do different things. Whereas I was gonna say like with eating, like I like to try to eat new things to maybe excite my palate or like to cleanse my palate. But there are certain foods that I constantly eat like over and over and over again. And it could be days in a row and I'll still eat it and I'm okay with it. And I'll actually be really happy that I'm eating it multiple times. And sometimes I eat it like multiple times in a day. So, um, I mean, I don't eat like that many times in a day, but I do eat multiple times a day. So, um, this shirt, this is my Hot Topic shirt, and then I have this skirt. Whenever I say like I'm about to say skirt, in my head I was like skirt, but I'm not gonna. Well, I just did. So I brought this out of my other luggage. So I have like three luggages that I mainly use. Honestly, not all. None of them are like super filled, unless when I got here they were pretty filled. One of them I put my mainly my knits in, my knitted garments, and um, I referred to my latest one is my dream knit, and I'll talk about that in this video. And then my other one there, it's a combination of different things, but I would say like clothes that I like to wear and I actually do wear, but they're kind of not. I I feel like I'm being rude, but not my favorite clothes, but I definitely enjoy wearing them. And then my oldest luggage that I actually got from the thrift store for $10 over a decade ago has my favorite clothes in it. And it has my other things in there too. So that I kind of like rank my stuff or maybe categorize with the knitted things because I love my knitted garments. So this was in the other. I like this, but I don't consider it like my super favorite. But then I put it with this shirt, and I actually put it with the brown shirt that I had the other day. It has sequins on it, and that kind of gave like the gypsy look, but this one, when I put it with this, it kind of gives like Renaissance vibes, and I was like there for it. I got so excited, and I'm thinking, how else can I make my room and my wardrobe like a theater set? I don't necessarily want it to look like the costume or like so um Halloween or of that nature. So maybe not so much theater, but I do have different types of themes that I just feel really happy when I wear them, and one of them is kind of like the Renaissance theme. Another one could be medieval. And the fairy. I've been going through the vampire phase, and those are the main ones right now. I feel like there could be another one that well, a couple of them that I'm not mentioning. Um, I wear my black skirt and my black skirt and my black tank top most days because I don't leave the house. But even when I do leave the house, I wear it too. So I feel like this is so fun, and it's also it can be with the area too because when I'm in certain areas, I gravitate towards certain clothing items. So I try to like keep an assortment because when I go somewhere, it tends to be like a completely opposite environment of where I was before in some type of way. So it's like kind of a surprise, and to gauge it, it's I'm not sure what I would be gauging because a lot of times it's a new experience. The bottoms of my skirts, a lot of them are frayed because I either step on them or they drag on the ground. This one doesn't drag on the ground, but I I mean I step on it, so I mean I guess you could say it does get touch the ground. So I know people are like, you outside clothes. I know. So um I did my first not my first wash, but I did a wash yesterday. And I had to wash other things soon. And the bed sheets included. My parents want me to wash them before they go because they wash the guest rooms and they want they like cleaning before they leave. So it's half an hour in and I've been talking, but to go to what I got at the thrift store. So I was going and I like to look at the things. I go to the pillowcases and blankets and bed sheets to see if if I would want to get any of them. And it wasn't today. I saw a mug that I liked, um, but I felt like, ooh, maybe it could give me inspo. And in a way, it does give off what I'm looking for, but like, I mean, I have a mug that I could use, so I don't technically need a mug right now. I was carrying that, and then I saw this. There is, um, like a bolt supplies in the inside. It's not the correct one, but it's some of it's the correct part of it, and it is like an easel box or an art box. And so the main parts of it are here. There are some areas that I'll need to replace, but it's only two areas. So one of them is right here, so you can see that this screw is missing, but I feel that it's fine. That if I even use it and reinforce it with something else aside from a screw, I think it could work because I'm literally just putting paper or like canvas on it. I don't really use I just use like the what do you call it, the paper in the packet, So if anything, if I really need to, I'll just like take it out of the packet. So I don't think it's like a problem at all. And then the other thing is, oh my god, I'm so sorry. This part here, so this part, it has like, I feel like it would have one of those bars here and it adjusts. So there's like the openings in different areas and it is one that you can carry. I'm going to replace this because it's faux leather and I want to maybe weave one or do something where I could have it not fray or like chip away because of the material. So this was $6 and I was like, I thought about it because I'm thinking, should I? And then I was like, it would be good because I usually get stuff and then storage comes after at some point. So a lot of times I have like stuff like uh, just in my room somewhere random. It's not like random. I'm pretty intentional with where I want to put my stuff, even if it does seem like why would you put it there? But I felt like this would be nice, and it opens in three areas. So I was looking at the online prices, and the closest one it said it was like a beechwood, and then it had the two drawers at the bottom aside from the main drawer, so like it would be three openings. That was like $50 around, and then I think there was like a sale for 40, and that was beechwood. I saw Amazon have one that didn't have the other drawers aside from the main drawer, and that was like on sale for $23 around that. Um, so I felt like it was a good price, and I'm gonna open it. And I just, what I was talking about in the beginning when I was being distracted was I was wondering if this would be useful for me because I use the paint that you just, the apple paint. Sorry, maybe I'll just take that out until I do something with it. But yeah. So it feels like there should be one longer one here, but maybe the person lost it. And so they have the twist thing. They have a mini screw here. And then they have this thing. I don't know what you call that, but I think I have a clue what I'm supposed to do with it. So this is at different heights right now, but you could set it basically here and here. And it's not, again, it's not the same height, but then you take this, and there's like a little like staple looking claw things here. That's why I feel like maybe the piece of wood came off, and it could be a reason, or maybe they just got another art box. So you could adjust this so you're not painting on this side or whatever you're doing. You're doing it on this side, and I thought that was really cool. You can adjust the height even more. So I thought that this was great because I don't really need like a whole easel situation. I like this, and I don't need it to be so arched or going up so much because I paint like I'm writing on a paper anyway. But a little more upwards is nice, so I'm not in a shrimp position where I'm just crouching to get to the picture because I currently paint on the paint setup is on the grounds because I don't have a desk in here to do that type of crafting. So I felt like this was nice and put this down. What I was saying, because I use the paint in here, and I was thinking like when I was looking at it, is this even going to be practical? I don't know if it's landed. So I don't know if it was going to be practical if I can't store at least some of them in here, and it fits in this main drawer. So I could like get other paint and put it in here. I mean, it's not super necessary right now, but um, I'll just close this for a second or a moment. Then it's because the other drawers are kind of smaller. Well, they are smaller, but they don't have as much room. And the original, like the person that had this before, they still had their um, when you have the stuff in your drawers in the kitchen to organize them, they had some inserts like that in here. I took them out because the way that it was, the things that like it originally had, I don't really use. So I took them out. These drawers have their own latches here, and you could do that, and it'll just you could close it like that. Did I do that? So they're not going to open up. So this is really great, and I was thinking for the smaller brushes or the smaller drawers, I would put the brushes at least in there, and maybe use or like keep some stuff to paint on because I don't have one of those things where you just put the paint on it and then paint from there. I just use random things to put the paint on. So I'm gonna actually get my other paint and see how it is. So I have this paint here. I'm not gonna put all of them in here, but it's nice to know that some of them can fit. I used to have like uh it almost acted like one of those spice racks, but it for paint. It's in my storage unit, and I don't think I would get it out right now, or I wouldn't be going soon anyway. So, oh, I didn't say that. Like I got back around 8:30, and around 8:30 it was 104 degrees. I'm just happy that the AC makes it cool, especially at night. Sorry. So let me see how many I could fit because I know there's that middle thing too. And if some of them don't fit, it's okay. Or maybe I could put the unopened ones in here. I don't know. Or uh, would I want the open ones in here and then put the backup ones somewhere else? Maybe this one could go in the other drawer. So I didn't close the drawer. just want to see how much like I could fit in here, considering it's kind of, I don't know if like this would be what the manufacturer would think that you would put in here, but I'll see how much with like the other stuff at the top. Put this one here so I can. Okay, so it does hit certain areas. That's gonna make it not close. Wait, is it this thing that's making it not close? And if I can't fit a lot of them, I kind of expected it not to all fit in here anyway. Okay, so it seems like and what I can also do is, I don't even know, would I transfer these? I've never done that before. I'm trying to see like what is hitting. Is it this thing that's hitting? I think so. So it's hitting like the middle of it when it rolls. If it didn't roll, would it be fine? And the bolts on the side. So it is going to be kind of picky of how well I can put this up in here. But honestly, I feel like it's going to be good for my posture anyway. Because I'm trying to see like what I'm hitting. Because it seemed fine at the beginning. Oh, okay. Let me just. And maybe I could like put my own little inserts. Okay, now I know it's hitting certain parts on the outside, or not the outside, on the inside. So it could fit a couple of them. I might just. I could put. Because I'm thinking, do I want the ones that I use, or do I want the ones that I don't use as much? I could put the ones that I'm not using here. And maybe I could find a different paint setup. I don't really know why I would do that, but I got pens in here. The pen set I don't even use, but I keep for some reason. I think I'm gonna put my own inserts so it kind of saves where it would land instead of me having to mess with it. So those fit. But I think it's. Oh, wait. Really? I could actually fit more in here than I thought. Because it's mainly just the bolted areas. And if I don't hit those areas, like with this thing in the middle, it's not even affected. So I could actually fit more than I thought. I'm definitely gonna make an insert at some point whenever um, my brain decides to do that. It's running out anyway. I don't know how exciting this is because I'm not even showing what I'm doing. Yes. No, okay. Can I do this? Oh my god. What up here? I really don't know how interesting this is, but I'm having fun. Yeah, I can fit a lot in here. That's like half of them basically. 4, 6, 12, 13. So it's a little less, but it fits a lot. Maybe I'll just show how many I was able to fit. And I might have been able to fit maybe one or two more, but I need to push it too much. Oh, it's kind of heavy. I'll probably just keep it in one area if that's the case. But this is what I was able to fit, and it's not a bad amount. Like, it's a pretty decent amount. Um, and it's rolling. So let me see. Makes it not close. And then I'll just close it up and think about how I'm going to work with that. But it closes up, and that's exciting. So, and technically, maybe I should put the ones that I actually use in here, and the ones that I don't use like away. Well, that aren't open away, because I feel like I would cover more, even though I still wouldn't have the full amount in here. So maybe I'll talk about my knitting, and it's almost an hour. I don't know if I was going to talk about anything else tonight because I'm getting a little sleepy. But I have my dream knit here. I brought it to school, and I call it my dream knit because I've been wanting to do a red and black colored garment for a long time, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and I didn't have the yarn to do it. Mainly because I have red. Well, I wanted specific tones of both of them. So while I had some red, I didn't have a black that I wanted to use because I didn't want just straight black. I wanted it to be more on the charcoal side. And this is what it's called. It's called charcoal. And so I did the top. This is the progress that I did. Like, I marked my shaping. I did German churros with this. And you'll, I don't know if you can really see what this is, but I just love the combination of red and black. And this is a top-down sweater. It's also a dream knit because I have been wanting to knit another one of Tetti's patterns because her patterns fit really nicely. And so I did go a size up just to see because I did have a couple of inches extra for the bust circumference, but I was thinking how it would be to go a size up, but I can clearly see it. I don't know if it shows up clearly on the video, but it's just getting started. I really love wearing charcoal and grays. I think they're probably the ones that I really like to wear. I wear a lot of yellow and blue, probably. I've seen many of them that I've done. So this is using the Ukrainian yarn with the Ukrainian pattern, and I'm really hoping to finish it before the end of summer. I um I don't know what I was gonna say, but I really like this yarn because sometimes I just kind of am doing other things and I'm holding my project or I'm doing something and my hand isn't or my hand isn't getting super hot. It feels nice. Um I don't know what I was gonna say just because maybe because I'm getting sleepy. I don't remember what I was gonna say about it, but I love it. I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm gonna I want to get the assignments completed tomorrow so I could start. I started studying the drugs already, and I'm putting together my study guide for the other exam that I have. But I want to include the quizzes that I'm going to take for the next week because that information is still going to be on the exam. So I want to get that completed before at least the end of the weekend, but I'm hoping by Friday. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't remember what I was going to say, but I'm sure I'll think of it later. I'll see you in another video.